Hello, my loves. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. Welcome to part 6 of my palette collection. Guys, it's never ending. It is never ending. I swear, I had no idea I had this many palettes. I had no idea. I'm going to speed through it as quick as I possibly can. Because you probably, I don't know. I say that and then I end up playing with every single color and swatching them a million times. And I just don't know what to tell you other than I enjoy my palettes. And I hope you guys are enjoying these videos. I'm really just kind of doing it, really to kind of check myself. I go ahead and I film another one of these videos every time I want to buy another palette. Every time the itch starts and I'm like, oh, maybe I need another palette. I just come in here and I film one of these palettes and I'm just like, no. No. Today I'm gonna do Huda Beauty. I'm gonna do the palettes that I got from Wanderlust Beauty, and then I'm gonna do Juvia's Place. That's what I'm shooting for today. I'm gonna start with the category that I have the most from, which is Wanderlust Beauty, and then we'll kind of go from there. But Wanderlust Beauty is an online makeup retailer. They've got all kinds of different brands. Some you've heard of, some you haven't. But they always ship really fast. 9 times out of 10, I really enjoy what I get from them. So yeah, they're definitely one of my favorites. And they have this category called $5 deals. Okay, $5 favorites. I'm sorry. It is my bank account's mortal enemy. It gets me every time. And then of course I'm signed up for emails, so every time something new drops I get an email, and then I check my email and then I spend money. Anyway, so I have, starting off, I have these are the Oakland Paradise. I have 1 and 2. So 1, first of all, I love the packaging. They look like little books. They're nice and heavy. It's cardboard packaging. It feels well made. The packaging, like just the picture on the front, is really, really cute. I actually used, not this one, not number 1, but number 2 to do the eye look that I have on today. If you are interested, I actually did this on a live. So if you'd like to go check out my Facebook page, Makeup for the Everyday Mama, MAHMA, the tutorial is on there. I did it live. It's actually super, super cute. Inspired at the hardware store, looking at paint swatches. You know, super cute though. I enjoyed doing it. So this is book 1. It's got a nice sized mirror, and then you've got this color story. I want to say you've probably never heard of Oakland eyeshadows before, but they're fantastic. Super blendable, super pigmented. They're so wonderful and super cheap. Really can't go wrong. I love the color story for this. It looks very, very basic, but this green and this purple, I used these two not too long ago to do an eye look, and they are so pretty. They're just so pigmented. You don't expect a lot from these because they're cheap, but boy, oh boy, do they perform. They are so wonderful. I'm going to do this really bright pink. Really beautiful, kind of like rosy pink color, but then this green, just so pigmented. The same way for the shimmers. The shimmers are really, really nice. This is this like periwinkle blue kind of purple iridescent shimmer. It's just stunning. Beautiful color story, beautiful palette. So this is Paradise 1, and then Paradise 2. This is the one I used to do my eye look today. Again, you have a nice sized mirror. This is your color story. This one I feel like is a lot warmer. This one is more orange leaning, so you've got more oranges and blues in here. Really beautiful palette. This like teal color is so rich. I want to call it like a royal teal, just because it's so deep and richly pigmented. It really is beautiful. It goes on the eye so nicely. It's so pretty. So I have this color on today. I also have this really kind of like deep rose color on as well. They're just so nicely pigmented. For $5 a piece, you really cannot beat it. The shimmer, I'll show you this gold shimmer. They're They're just pretty. Really, really nice quality for not a lot of money. Can't beat it. So those were the Oakland Paradise ones. This was 2. This is 1. These are really, really nice. The next ones I have are, so I have the Oakland Euphoria palette. Really beautiful palette as well. Nice size mirror. Again, this is a glitter palette. Look at those colors. It's just a beautiful, beautiful glitter palette. You have pretty much every shade of glitter that you would ever need in here. And not only do you have glitters, but you have a couple of really nice, very pigmented matte shades. This pink is like, whoa, so beautiful. This orange, stunning. It's like an electric orange, just super pigmented, just insane. Green, like a lot of times neon greens like that don't have the pigment. It's just absolutely a gorgeous palette. This one was $10. This was on the $10 deals. Super beautiful palette. I would pay $10 for this again in a heartbeat. Not only that, but it's a beautifully sized palette. It's so good. The next one I have is the Oakland Wonderland palette. Packaging, both of these packagings are just so sturdy, so heavy. They feel nice. They feel luxurious. Then you open it up, has a nice size mirror again, and then this is your color story. So this is basically a rainbow palette, but unlike a lot of drugstore or like cheaper palettes, this is matte heavy. So it's super easy to build an eye look with this palette. It's so nice. The color story is super bright. You've got, I like the way that it's set up. You've got your orange row, you've got your pink row, you've got your neutral row, oranges, greens, blues, and purples. It is so beautiful. It's well thought out palette. And again, the actual colors in here are so bright, so vivid. The shadow is so pigmented. Again, very easy to use. They're just beautiful. Look at that purple. It's not patchy at all. Purples don't usually swatch for anything. It's just so beautiful. I love this like purpley pink shimmer here. It's just really a beautiful palette. And for $10 for the quality that you get, it's just, and not only that, but they ship so quickly. It's really awesome. These 2 are my least favorite palettes that I've gotten. This is the Amorous Macaron Magic palette. Packaging, A+. Beautiful, super cute packaging. Again, it's that sturdy, heavy cardboard packaging. You open it up, you get a really nice sized mirror, and then you have this absolutely beautiful color story. I don't feel like this shadow quality is on par with the Oakland formula. It's still very nice, still very usable. I actually enjoy this one more so than the next one I'm going to show you. This is just a really beautiful pastel palette. Super pretty. I mean, just the way that it's laid out, it's just aesthetically pleasing. One of the biggest things that I don't like about this is you get 4 pressed glitters. Not my favorite thing. I don't really like a pressed glitter in a palette unless I'm buying a pressed glitter palette. I just feel like it's kind of lazy. Glitters are not something that I use on a daily basis, so for me to have them in a palette, it's just kind of not my favorite thing. But they are nice, soft shadows. The pigmentation is nice. It is not as nice as I would like it to be, but it does build. It is a very buildable formula, and it's very pretty. This green is nice. Not as nice as the Oakland formula, but it's still very vibrant, very pretty. The shimmers in here, this pink shimmer is really pretty. It's kind of like a matte, but it's got gold fleck in it. It's a really beautiful palette. There's this white kind of foiled shade in here, like gold foiled shade. It's really beautiful. I was not disappointed with this palette at all. It just wasn't as bright and pigmented as I thought it was going to be. But for $10, I'm still not going to complain, especially with the packaging that you get. It's absolutely adorable. I really do enjoy this palette. It's really cute. This one, on the other hand, this one is the Amorous Bad Blood palette. Not my favorite. I have used this a few times, Again, nice sized mirror. And then this is your color story. Now, I thought that this was going to be much more red heavy. I thought this was going to be like very bold and bright. But instead, this is more of kind of like a neutral-ish palette with a couple of pops of red and purple. Still a very pretty palette. The only problem I have, again, you get 1, 2, 3. You get 3 pressed glitters in this palette, which is not as bad as the other one, but still 3 pressed glitters. I just feel like a lot of the shades in here are quite similar. And not only that, but a lot of the reds are not quite as pigmented as I thought that they should be. Like, that was supposed to be like a really bright red. And instead, everything is just very muted. It's not very pigmented. It's the purple is just almost non-existent. So I just went into this like really bright purple right here. And the purples in here are just really, really, they're just disappointing. I would not, if I had the chance, I would not repurchase this palette. This one, I definitely would, just because it's a really cute pastel palette, but this one I didn't need to waste the $10 on it. It's not worth the $10 in my opinion. There are other formulas on that particular website that are much better than this formula. I'm not sure why this palette is so much worse than the other palette. They're made by the same people. This is a different formula, and the reds in here are just not formulated well. The purples are not formulated well, and it's just kind of a letdown. The next ones I have are the Rude palettes. Now, I don't know if you've ever heard about the brand before, Rude Cosmetics, but they're bomb. They are really, really nice. They're actually pretty expensive. I don't know if it's an indie brand or not, but they're actually a pretty expensive brand. And I got these 2 palettes for $10 a piece. $15 a piece. I paid $15 a piece for these. And then I got this one for $5. This one is just absolutely beautiful. So this is the Rude Cosmetics City of Pastel Lights. I think the packaging is super, super cute. You open it up, you get a nice tiny little mirror, and then you've got these really beautiful pastel neon shades. They're so gorgeous. This was the first Rude palette that I ever bought, and I used it and I just immediately fell in love. It was so, so beautiful. The colors in here, first of all, the shadow formula is fantastic. Very buttery, very pigmented, very easy to use. Just so, so beautiful. I love how bright everything is. They're just gorgeous. Super bright, super pigmented. Really, really a beautiful, bright, bright palette. So worth having. And for $5, I think it's a bit more expensive now. I don't even think they have it on that site anymore, but I know that they do still sell this palette on the Rude Cosmetics website. I think it's a bit more expensive, but if you're looking for like a really bright pastel palette, this is it. This is like a neon pastel, and it is so, so beautiful. The next one I have is the City of Neon Lights. Now, this palette is just to die for. I paid $15 for this palette, and I would do it again in a heartbeat. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous palette. Very, very thin palette, very light, very lightweight. It's still cardboard. It doesn't feel cheap or anything. It actually feels pretty sturdy and well made, but it's very, very thin, very light, so I feel like it's travel friendly. Beautiful palette, beautiful imagery on the front. You open it up, you do not have a mirror in this palette, but look at those shades. Tell me you don't fall in love with this immediately. Such a beautiful, beautiful palette. You've got, I mean, it's a neon rainbow. It is so, so gorgeous. And when I tell you that they are neon, they are neon. They are the brightest. You also get there's different textures in here. So you have a mix between mattes and shimmers, whereas this one is all matte, which I appreciated. This one is a mixture of mattes and shimmers. I do feel like it is matte heavy, which is nice. I appreciate that. But the shades are just absolutely gorgeous. It is just a stunning, stunning palette. This is the brightest palette in my collection. This purple just gets me every single time. This is just the most stunning, Absolutely stunning palette. I love this so, so much. Really one of my favorite palettes in my collection. The next one I have is the Desperate Dreamer. This is in the same style as the Neon Lights one. Again, nice and thin, kind of light, good for travel. I love the imagery on the front. It looks like a movie flyer. It's so, so pretty. No mirror again, but then this is what the color story looks like. Now, I thought on the pictures on the website, this looked very, very different, so I was very surprised when I received it. Online, it looked very bright and like a much brighter palette. In real life, though, this is a very neutral palette. I know that it's kind of showing up pretty bright on my camera, but in real life, this is actually, this half is all neutrals, and then this half is like mostly greens. It's really beautiful palette. Again, this is a shimmer heavy palette. Yes, you've only got maybe, no, there's no mattes in this palette. So these are all shimmers, which I didn't know when I purchased it. Still a really beautiful palette. If I did have the chance, though, I would not repurchase this. Not because it's a bad palette, or not because it's like a bad formula, because it's stunning. It's just as good as the Neon Lights. It just isn't the kind of color story that I reach for very often. It is still very, very beautiful, but I would have to have like a companion palette to go along with this, just because there's no mattes in here. Again, they're beautiful. They're really nicely pigmented, beautiful buttery shimmers, just absolutely gorgeous. The greens in here are OMG, so beautiful. This is like a really beautiful like lime chartreuse, really, really beautiful shimmer. But they are all shimmers, and it's just not something. Look at that green, though. Is that not just stunning? If you're looking for a shimmer palette, a really, really nicely pigmented, super buttery shimmer palette, this is your go-to. Really beautiful. You've got a nice array from mattes to greens, but I would say that this is mostly a pink and green palette. Super pretty, though. The next ones that I have from Rude Cosmetics, this is the 70s palette, so it's just a little teeny tiny triangle palette. It's got really cute imagery on the front, very tiny. This one I paid $5 for. You've got a cute little mirror, and then this is what your color story looks like. This is a red pink color story, very pretty. Again, this one is very shimmer heavy. You've only got 3 mattes, and then the rest are shimmers. But this green, I am telling you, when this green is they're so softly packed. And this green is almost, I want to say like a cream, but it is the most beautiful. That's a crappy swatch. It's like a duochrome, okay? So it's got like, it goes from green to like teal to like gunmetal. It's a really beautiful shade. Super, super pretty. But you can tell I just put my finger in there, and it is so softly packed in there. It just kind of moves all around on you. It really feels like a cream. But this one is a bit stiffer. Again, very softly packed. You can see my fingerprint in there. But again, just a really beautiful kind of like grungy gunmetal kind of shimmer. Really beautiful. Nice palette. I wouldn't repurchase this just because it's so tiny, and I don't feel like there's a lot of range in this palette, but it's a cute palette. The next and final Rude Cosmetics one I have is the Party Animals palette. This is the Prudence one. This is just a neutral palette, but it's a very beautiful neutral palette. I would say it's kind of like cool neutral. Really, really pretty. Beautiful shimmers in here. Beautiful buttery pigments. I've made a couple of really beautiful neutral looks with this palette, and it's so tiny and so easy to kind of like run around with. The shimmers are really, really nice. Let's do this kind of purpley shimmer. Really beautiful, nicely pigmented. I don't have a bad word to say about the Rude formula. I think it's on point, and I do wish that they were not quite as expensive as they are, but I do agree that they are worth every penny. The formula is just insane. Super easy to work with, very, very bright, very pigmented, and really just easy to work with. They're just beautiful. They're buildable. There's really nothing bad I can say about the formula. I love, with the exception of this one, I really am kind of in love with every Rude palette that I have. The next ones that I got from Wanderlust Beauty are these Bad Habit. So these are the Bad Habit shadow palettes. I think this is a copycat brand. I believe these are copies of the Huda Beauty's Obsession palettes. You get a nice little mirror. This is called After Hours. This is just a really beautiful, rosy, cool toned neutrals palette. It is stunning. It is a beautiful, beautiful palette. The colors in here are actually really, really nice. The shadows are nicely pigmented. Very, very pigmented. Very, very soft. Not soft as in like softly packed, but just kind of like they feel soft. They feel very smooth. They go on very, very nicely. They blend beautifully. I mean, they are so pigmented. It's just really, really beautiful. And the shimmers, I feel the same way about. The shimmers are so pigmented, very high shine. They're just absolutely gorgeous. So that was After Hours. The next one I have is Aftershock. I will say the packaging on these feels fantastic. These are heavy. They are heavy. They are well made. They feel expensive. They feel very well made. Again, you get a nice little mirror, and then this is just a rainbow palette. This is beautiful. It's a beautiful rainbow palette. So you've got 3 shimmers and the rest are mattes, which I appreciated. These 3 are shimmers, and then the rest of these are mattes. Really, really beautiful. Again, highly pigmented, very soft, buttery. Just absolutely beautiful. I like the color choices. I like the tones that they picked for this. Really, really quite beautiful. Super, super stunning. This blue shimmer is just kind of like amazing. It's just this aquamarine high shine shimmer, just stunning. I don't know if they still have these on the website or not, but I am so happy that I have these. I paid $5 a piece for these, and I would do it again in a heartbeat. They're so, so pretty. The next one I have is Afterglow. This one is just a warm toned, like orangey. Oh, so pretty. I would call this a quintessential sunset palette. So, so beautiful. Again, the oranges in here are, so this is a red, nicely, nicely pigmented. The oranges are really beautiful. This is like a really pretty burnt orange. This yellow is on point. Just gorgeous. And again, the shimmers, I love that this is matte heavy. I like to build with mattes and accentuate with shimmers. These are all mattes except for these 2. And I like that this one is darker and this one is lighter. They're not too similar. The shimmers in here are stunning. Just really, really beautiful. I could not regret these palettes even if I wanted to. So beautiful. The last one I have is After Party. Now this is just a cool toned neutral palette. This is glam. This is, you pair this with a red lip and you are good to go to any nighttime event. This is just a beautiful, beautiful, full on glam moment. Glam, soft glam, whatever you want to do with this, it is gorgeous. I love that they put a nice smoky black in here. This silver shimmer is to die for. This one is the only one that is actually half and half, or maybe a little over. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so this one is shimmer heavy, but glam usually is pretty much about the shimmers. It's really beautiful though. I can't be mad about it. You have a light, a mid, and a deep brown, and then you've got a really dark black to kind of smoke everything out. It's beautiful. This black is actually fantastic. It is a fantastic dark, dark, dark black. And then this smoky, like, silver shimmer is just, looks like melted steel. And it is so gorgeous. This is a absolutely beautiful, cool toned glam palette. I love it so, so much. The last ones that I got from Wanderlust Beauty are these Ruby May palettes. Now, I don't know if you know anything about Ruby May, but they're fantastic. I absolutely love her formula. This is the Peppermint Mocha palette. This was $5. All of these were $5 as well. This was $5. This is the Peppermint Mocha. You have a cute little mirror. And then this is your color story. Now, this is fall personified. This gives me all kinds of wintertime fall feels. Makes me very, very happy. You've got some greens, you've got gold, you've got red, and then you've got some neutrals in here. Really beautiful palette, super easy. I would totally wear this around Christmas, around the holidays. This is a holiday palette for sure. The shimmers in here, I would say, are more of like a foiled, but they are so high shine, so high pigment. They are just absolutely gorgeous. There's the gold, and then here's a red shimmer. This red shimmer is just absolutely insane. The matte shades are absolutely gorgeous as well. This is the shade called Mocha, just a really deep, dark, cool tone brown. You've got this green apple shade, which is just a really deep green, really beautiful. And then you've got this cranberry shade over here, which is just a really beautiful berry color. So pretty. $5. Cute packaging. Kind of light. Doesn't feel cheap, just really light. This is one of those ones that you could travel with pretty easily, I think. The next one I have is the Spiced Latte. I love this color story. It's so cute. Little mirror. Look at that color story, though. It just is so warm and so beautiful. I actually have played with this one. I've done an eye look with this one, and I loved it so much. I did a pumpkin spice eye look, and it was so pretty. These oranges and like this kind of like orangey mustard, so pretty. So pigmented. Shimmers in here. Again, the orange shimmer is just freaking on point. This is like a purple. It's kind of like a purple matte, but it's got like blue and kind of like darker purple reflex in it. So pretty. I want to show you this. This is the spice color. This is that kind of like mustardy orange. Super warm toned, just really beautiful, nicely pigmented, very soft, very blendable, very easy to work with. I really like this formula. So good. The last Ruby May palette I have is the Purple Kush palette. This one was $10, just because I think it's a little bit bigger. The pan sizes are a bit bigger. It's still a 9-pan palette. You get a nice size mirror. Love the packaging. I love the aesthetic of it all. And the color story was just very odd and kind of grungy, and I really just kind of was here for it. This green kind of suckered me in. They're actually really nice. They're really nice. I'm gonna clean off my fingers real quick so I can give you a good swatch. But they're so pretty. This green just super soft. It's like a puke green. It's so good. It's so good. Then you've got a really dark green. They don't swatch the best, but I tell you, they go on the eye so well. There's a purple. Let's do one more. There's a purple. I really love the tone of that purple. It's kind of bright and electric, but still grungy at the same time. And then you've got this really, this is called Blackberry. So this is a shimmer. It's a really dark purple shimmer, kind of like a royal purple. And then you've got a warm toned neutral. I guess this would be your transition shade. And then you've got, this one is called Indica. It's another kind of like metallic, like electric purple shade. Really beautiful. I like the palette. I love the imagery. I love the aesthetics of it. Super cute. Moving on, we'll move on to my Huda Beauty. I've only got 4 palettes of hers. Some I like more than others. I actually paid $10 a piece for these. I got these while they were on sale. So I have the Ruby Obsessions. This was my least favorite palette out of all of the ones that I purchased. You have a little tiny mirror, and then this is your palette. Now the palette is absolutely stunning. The reds just did not perform as well as I had heard that they would, so it was kind of a disappointment. The shimmers are on point. The shimmers are absolutely insane. Again, I would say this is more of like a foiled formula. And the colors are really, really beautiful, really interesting. The shimmers I have absolutely no problem with. But it was the matte reds that kind of gave me a little bit of a weren't. Because they were just not as pigmented as I thought they were going to be. They're very soft. But they're just the pigment is not there. Just with this one. This is the only one I had that problem with. Just the pigment wasn't there for me. And it definitely wasn't worth the $30 to me that these palettes usually are. The next one I have is the Amethyst Obsessions. This one is a beautiful, beautiful palette as well. Again, same layout. You get a little mirror. And then this is the color story. It's a really beautiful palette. The shimmers in here are absolutely freaking spectacular. This one in particular, the shimmer, it's really kind of like duochromy. So beautiful. That's kind of like a purple. This is a duochrome because it shows purple, but then you move the light and it looks gold. And then, oh, so beautiful. So beautiful. Next one is this really deep purple. That's beautiful, nicely pigmented. They're just not as rich as I thought they were going to be. Like the pigment is just not as deep and rich and luxurious as I thought that these palettes were going to be. So it was just kind of a letdown. To me, they're just kind of, I mean, they're beautiful. They're beautiful palettes, and the formula is great. They just were not as life-changing as I thought they were going to be. So this is the Emerald Obsessions one. This one is very pretty. I have not played with this one yet, but again, shimmers are just absolutely gorgeous. Really kind of just beautiful jewel tones. They are very shimmer heavy. There's not very many mattes in this palette. I think there's only 3 in this one. I think that these have the best pigment out of the ones that I've showed you so far. Super pretty. I haven't played with this one yet. This one feels like more of a holiday palette to me. So I will be playing with that one this winter. This is my favorite one out of all 4 of them. This is the Topaz one. This one is beautiful. And I think the reason this one is the best is because Huda just knows her neutrals. A gorgeous, warm-toned neutrals palette. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So, okay, so you've got 5 mattes and 4 shimmers. Really beautiful palette. I love this. I made the most beautiful eye look with this. I just loved it. I thought the shimmers were absolutely, I have green on my finger, were just absolutely stunning. The mattes in here are the richest by far. They're just super unctuous, super buttery, just really everything that I was expecting from Huda's shadows I found with this neutrals palette. Really beautiful. They all play well together. They're just beautiful. This is definitely my favorite Huda palette by far. The last ones I'm going to go over are the Juvia's Place palettes that I have. Now, I only have 4. I have duplicates of this one. I got this on sale for $5, and it's usually like a $30 palette, so I bought doubles. This is the Masquerade Mini. Really beautiful, colorful palette. No mirror, but you do have all of these beautiful neutrals, and then you've got your pops of color down here. These are so pigmented. They're so nice. They're so easy to work with. I feel like these are even kind of beginner friendly. just because they're so easy to work with. The pigmentation on here is absolutely insane. It is bonkers. Again, I would say that this, all of the colors except for this pink and this purple, they're all shimmers, which is not, you know, my ideal situation, but they're still beautiful. They're still beautifully pigmented. This blue is just insane. It's just a really rich royal blue color. Just love it so much. The neutrals in here are by far absolutely gorgeous. You could do a neutral look with this palette in a heartbeat. So, so beautiful. I love this palette. This was my first Juvia's Place palette. Was the first order that I ever placed, and I'm just so, so happy that I did. I'm so happy that I found it on sale and was able to get it at that price, so I could get my foot in the door of Juvia's Place and really just kind of start to explore their formula, because it's really, really a beautiful formula. I can completely understand why everybody raves about it the way that they do. It really is just, they're just gorgeous, gorgeous shadows. The pigmentation is there 100%. Blendability is there 100%. They're just really, really nice. And even at full price, they're very moderately priced. So they're not like super expensive and unattainable, even at full price. Really, really beautiful palette. I love the neutrals. I love the pops of color. Super, super pretty palette. The next one I have is the Sweet Pinks. So talk about the packaging for just a minute. Is that not the most beautiful baby Barbie pink you've ever seen in your life? I love the art. I feel like they're just these beautiful, absolutely gorgeous, regal, just African queens on the front. And it is so beautiful and so empowering and such a beautiful, beautiful statement for the company in general. Just absolutely gorgeous. On the inside, you have the most beautiful pink palette color story that you've ever seen in your life. I absolutely adore it. Oh, this color right here and this color right here just do it for me so much. I love this. This is just the prettiest pink palette you ever did see. And they're so, so pigmented. They're just absolutely beautiful. They go on the eye like butter. They don't really take any kind of, you don't really have to like work with them at all. They really just kind of do the work for you. Again, I like that there are 3 shimmers and 3 mattes. I like that the colors are different enough that they look different on the eye, but they're close enough that everything like works together and gels together. Really, really beautiful palette. I'm so happy that I have this. The next one I have is the Berries palette. Again, I love this packaging. I love the kind of ombre effect, how you go from the darker purple kind of up to the lighter magenta. Really, really beautiful. And then again, you have these beautiful regal African queens on the front. Just so powerful. So, so beautiful. And then you open it up and then this is your Berries palette. So gorgeous. Now you could think that some of these shades are similar, but they really are not. If you look at them together, they are very, very different. Beautiful, beautiful palettes, but very different. The Berries palette, I would say, is a little bit more mauve-y toned. So, so beautiful. Still, absolutely. And my camera is not doing them justice. They are so much brighter and so much sparklier in person than the camera will ever be able to pick up on. They're just absolutely gorgeous. I love the depth that you've got in these palettes. I love the range. They're just gorgeous, gorgeous palettes. So this is the Berries right here. So, so pretty. Oh, just makes me happy. I love them so, so much. Probably if I were to like travel, I would definitely take these 2 palettes with me just because they're so beautiful. And I love pink. I wear pink quite often. The last Juvia's Place that I have and the last palette in this video is the Saharan Blush Volume 1. Now, I got this on sale. I believe I paid $3 for this palette. And I got it for eyeshadow because I could never ever wear these as blushes. They're just way, way, way too dark for me. But as eyeshadows, they are stunning. I just feel like it was just a really I couldn't turn it down for $3, and I wanted to have more Juvia's Place, and the two colors in this palette that really just kind of like blew my mind were, well, there's three actually. So it was this one, which is like kind of like a brassy burnished gold color, and then you've got this really bright like berry color. It's so beautiful, kind of like an electric berry. And then you've got this really beautiful like orange warm tone. So beautiful. I am gonna swatch these for you because some of these blushes really could either be highlighters. Like, is that not just an absolutely gorgeous like coppery gold shade? And then this is that like burnished gold that I was talking about. It's just absolutely stunning. Just beautiful, beautiful shades. And I do want to go into this like berry color. It's like this electric, it's an electric berry color. So gorgeous. Look at that. Does that not make your mouth water? Because it sure does mine. I swear. That is just the most beautiful freaking electric berry. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And then here's this like orange, warm toned orange. Like, oh, so beautiful. And then you've got this color Abby, which is a very dark, I want to say purple burgundy. It's brown, but it's got this undertone of like burgundy and red, like a wine color. It's absolutely just stunning. Just a really beautiful shadow. And the pans are huge. I'll have this probably till the end of time, but I'm so happy that I have it, period. Just a really beautiful. I can swatch Neo for you because I didn't swatch this one. This one's kind of like a rusty red color. Really just beautiful. All of those colors together, I probably couldn't. You know what? I'm going to challenge myself to make a look with this because I haven't used this palette yet. I've used the shimmers and I've used the pink with another shadow palette, but I haven't. Even just look what it does to my fingers. Just the colors there are just so absolutely stunning. Really beautiful palettes. And that was the last one for this video. We are now about 3/4 of the way done with my shadow palette collection. We have just a few more, maybe 1 or 2 more videos, and we will be done. After I film my video, I'm going to be doing quite a bit of decluttering. So yeah, I might do giveaways if I have palettes that I haven't touched yet. So be on the lookout for that. And yeah, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. Hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your week if you don't see me again. Yeah, please be sure to check out my page, Makeup for the Everyday Mama, on Facebook. I do lives over there all the time, and then I always post pictures, looks of the day, things like that. So please go check that out. I never use any filters, edits, or fancy lighting for any of my videos or pictures. What you see is what you get. It's just me sitting in front of my camera talking to you. All right, guys. Love you so much. Stay safe. Take care of yourselves. And remember, you're important.